For those of you who don't know what the 3% is, 3% of the men in the world are above 6'2". 3% of all men are 6'2". I'm 6'4". I'm officially 3%. This is difficult for me to say, but I'm gonna go into it. I was always raised to be modest, uh, but I am considered to be an attractive man. I always have been. So I'm over 6'2", classically attractive, single, and I make a nice living. 3%.
Peace. Pre-select thoughts. Back here with another video. Yo, bang that subscribe button. As we grow, as we build the plane, you can say you was here from day one, throughout all the dustiness, throughout all the ashiness, as we're upgrading the technology, as we're gaining experience on the mic. You can say you was here from day one. Yo, shout out to y'all. Let's get it.
3% of the men in the world are above 6'2". 3% of all men are 6'2". I'm 6'4". I'm officially 3%. This is difficult for me to say, but I'm gonna go into it. I was always raised to be modest, but I am considered to be an attractive man. I always have been. So I'm over 6'2", classically attractive, single, and I make a nice living. 3%. Rebecca Lynn Pope made a video. Check it out. I'm going to link it in the description. Single. Yep. Single and available. That's right. I only have one child. My daughter, she's from marriage.
That's the fundamental difference, that I'm 6'5", no children. I make less money than Kevin Samuels at this point. I'm younger than him at this point. I make about $55,000 a year after tax. So put it in the comments, what's that before tax, brothers? And I'm in my late 20s, very, very late 20s. So there's some differences, but it's the notion of pre-selection, the notion of having the mental intangibles and the physical intangibles that most women want and most men want to be. So when I'm giving my thoughts on women and my thoughts on men, it's coming from a point of, well, I naturally deal with a lot of people because of my stature. I stand out. So whether I am at work or at an event, people gravitate to me. I have gravitas. So again, when Kevin Samuels talks about, he's 6'4", he's making great money, single, all the good qualities, when I'm giving my thoughts, it's because of my experiences. And shout out to the dear brother and the men of this generation, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Alpha Male Strategies, Chief Jones, the men in this generation who have been there, done that, to give us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we need to grow.
Rebecca Lynn Pope is a matchmaker, wife, Christian mother, such and so forth. She made this video, and the timing is incredible because she made this video about women's dating standards being unrealistic. Thanks, Cats. Women's dating standards being unrealistic. And she never said directly black women, but we know she was inferring black women. But a couple of weeks ago, Insecure had a broadcast, had this thing going on when people were talking about Lawrence is whack and this and that. So I've had a lot of guys have some interest in saying, hey, I'm like Lawrence. And I said, Lawrence can be fixed. Lawrence has an image problem. Yeah, I know him. I fix Lawrence's all the time. I've had more men say, man, I want to see that. Not only I want to see it, I'd pay to see that. Got women to pay this. I've had women to say that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it a step further. I know many men like myself who are single, black, 6'2" or higher, well, making a good income, attractive. So we're the ones that Rebecca Lynn Pope was referring to. We're also the ones that a lot of these response videos from women are referring to, and a lot of guys. And the funny thing is, I typically don't tread into this kind of stuff because it's kind of dating stuff, but I see a lot of the women, and one thing I notice is they all have no avatars, and regardless of what their opinion is, I'm like, you guys have no idea what we want. No one's, you think you know what we want. So I'm putting together a small group of 3% guys, all black.
Hey ladies, black women, do you know what black men want? In general, as a whole, I'm gonna bat for you. I'm gonna bat for you and say in general you do know what we want. You're just, again, we're in an American culture where it's hard to do things like be fit in a glutton culture, do things like be submissive in a woman empowerment culture. I get it. So I'm rooting for you. What do men want? Put it in the comments. What do your men want?
We're gonna sit down and chop this thing up about this whole, what do our women's expectations unrealistic? I'm gonna tell you this. In my time of living, I've had more women approach me who know right off the bat, there's no way in heck we are a match. None. And see, as a man, to say that, you're an asshole. As a man, if you were to say that, you're rude. As a man, if you were to say that, you're cocky. Okay, let's just ask, let's be realistic. If you saw a classically attractive black woman with the body type everyone wants, and she was educated, she was single, she owned her own business, making a nice living, jumping out of a BMW, would you think a dude with 3 kids should run over there and holler at her? And he's driving a Civic? Men, we understand these things. Women, for the most part, think just because I'm cute, I'm in the game. So as a man, you have to learn how to say no and be nice. It's bizarro world, because I've also been a bouncer at a nightclub and I've seen some of the baddest chicks, and they just, women, it's funny, when you're an attractive woman, you can turn a man down like that, and nobody thinks twice about it. They don't call, 1 or 2 guys will call you the B-word. But in general, nobody's going to throw shade at you. If you're an attractive man who turn a woman down, you got to be a fag. You got to be lame. All these other kind of things.
And that has happened to me. I can't, because again, I deal with, on average, 40 to 50, 60 different women a day because of where I work, because of the type of job I do. And I can't have them all, but yet they all feel entitled to have this one type of guy. So when I do turn them down, and truth be told, shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the Godfather, I am not even interested in entertaining women right now because I'm on my purpose. I don't have enough time. I'm working at the job I work for 60 hours, 50, 60-hour weeks. Then I come work on my business, trying to grow and build the plane. So I don't have time to devote a weekend to, or a Saturday to, 5 hours out of my Saturday, 8 hours out of my Saturday to go out to movies and malls and food and go out to dates with you, because I'm on my purpose. But they don't understand that. And yes, they look at you and they feel some type of way, their emotions are hurt. And so yes, they all are very much so entitled. Entitled to your time, entitled to your body, your energy. Very interesting, because I go through this. But let's get back into it.
Women today, I'm going to say it. Sisters in general, your dating standards are unrealistic. of the guys that I know, the like-minded men, we don't want women like you. Let me tell you the kind of sister the average man wants. He wants a woman who's smart. That does not mean educated. She does not have to have a PhD, an MS, a BS. She just needs to be smart.
And why do we want you to be smart? It's for two reasons. Because one, for replication. Once we have children, we understand that these kind and caliber of men, they want you to either A, homeschool the children, so you have to, again, not be educated, but you have to be smart, you have to be intelligent. They want their children to be either homeschooled, or they want their children to go through private school, but you are still the transmitter of the culture. It is what it is.
We want women who are nice. We want women who are feminine. Typically, driven men don't want aggressive, driven women because there's no balance. We're both competing.
There's not enough time in the day. So again, if men want women who can transmit the culture, who can homeschool the children, how are you going to homeschool my children and you working 50 hours like I'm working 50 hours? Because there's not enough time in the day. You ambitious, so not only are you working your 50 hours, but you got your small business going, you got your business going on. It's not enough time in the day. So black women, do you want the man to? Or are you going to have like a daycare? You're just going to have the system raise the children? How is this going to work?
A man who is 6'2", keeps himself in shape, wants a woman who keep herself in shape. I remember being on Match.com.
And I'm 6'5", 250 pounds. I was at my highest weight was 320. I'm like a lineman, right? 6'5", I was 320. And so now I lost the weight. I'm losing weight and trying to tone up now. The muscle, we're evolving, but I'm down to 250. But yes, I definitely want my woman to be fit. I'm a big guy, 6'5", 250, so I don't really mind her being a little on the bigger side or a little on the taller side. Don't necessarily mind that. But to be healthy is very much so pivotal.
Yeah, because it was like that. Me on Match.com. I write profiles for men. Again, I'm an image consultant. So a lot of you guys may not be able to check my website out, but I package people. I also help guys get ready for interviews, dates, men and women, but also online dating. I help guys write their online dating profile. That's a professional service because a lot of guys fail online dating service profiles and women just laugh at them. I would have in my profile saying, hey.
Now, for your online profile, guys, it depends on how serious you want to take it. If you want to take this thing serious, it's not that deep. Just pay for professional photo shoots, get you a couple outfits, boom, problem solved.
Nicest way possible. Here's who I am. Here's what I like. I cycle, so that means I'm a part of a cycle team, so every year I ride at least 5 100-mile races on a bicycle. Used to teach spin class. So in my profile, I would write, hey, I'm an athlete. I'm looking for someone who's athletic. In
your profile, make sure you write in what you like, what you do. Make sure that it's uplifting, bright, clear, and inviting. Make sure in your professional photo shoots, you're in different settings and different outfits. Simple stuff, guys. Simple stuff. I'm dropping my Instagram at 100,000 subs. Subscribe, by the way. But I'm dropping my Instagram at 100,000 subs. Let's go.
And I even defined it. I said, let me define athletic, because since it's a pretty liberal definition, if you're 5'4", you need to weigh between 115 and 135. That's athletic. If you're over that, cool. Not my taste. You know how many women I had to sit back there and read that and tell me? I had a woman who was 5'4", 210. Straight up cussed me out because I wouldn't go out with her. I got my PhD and I'm this, I'm that. She was sending me pictures and this. I'm like, whoa. I was like, let's flip this. If you were a man if you were, if it's the other way around, if you're an attractive woman and a man like you approached her, would you go out with her? She said no. I was like, so why should I go out with you? Well, I just didn't think you would be that shallow. I mean, usually, a man is well written, is well spoken, such and so forth. Yes, there are a lot of women today who have unrealistic standards. Boris Kojo, Idris Elba.
And when I tell you guys, I can have them 18 to 80, any race, any ethnicity, dealing with them. So when I say these things, I have some men disagree with me in the comments, and I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate their feedback. Again, I'm in my late 20s, so I'm still a soaking sponge. I just go off of my experiences. We have to continue to understand that steel sharpens steel, right? So this whole notion of growth and black men bettering themselves and black men unifying, just know that once we all find our place, this process will go a lot more smoothly.
You know, I've hung out with guys who are NBA players, actors, some of the people in entertainment and in general. Men want what they look like. They want attractive women. And women, here's the thing, there's not a problem. If a woman has an avatar that has her picture, she's cool with how she looks. Notice that the women who are going to probably thumbs down this video are probably going to put me on some kind of hit list. You're going to have to go deep to try to put me on some kind of hit list, because I ain't saying nothing rude. I'm just telling the truth. I've sat on relationship panels. I do relationships. Relationships to me are interesting. Women want Fabio. Women want unrealistic beyond the shadow of doubt. So here's what I want to try to do. I want to try to get together guys who fit that model. Now, 6'2", or hot or taller, single, attractive black men. Because people are talking about this kind of guy like he exists in a vacuum, like it's a thing. No, we're people. And to be a person like this, to be discussed almost as mythical unicorn-like, term, without anyone ever asking, what do you want? I got stories. I've lived a life. I invited you to her show tonight. Okay. Yeah, BGS, how are you, sir? I still want to get you on the show, too, to talk about who you are behind the scenes. And I'm working on that Lawrence video, and I think this dovetails perfectly into this. Because most of my clients are Lawrences. You know how many times I've been called lame, this, that, because I don't... Well, anyway, it's off the subject. So, here's my thing. If you're a man over 6'2", you're single, if you're black, hit me up. Let me know if you'd like to be a part of the hangout, the discussion.
And this video came out about 6 years ago. At that point, I didn't hear about this brother. Actually, this is my first time looking at this brother's content from this long ago. Because I got onto Kevin Samuels and during his later content, I didn't really watch this stuff when he was talking to the men. So this is really my, it's a fresh reaction. You guys are getting it fresh. And it's interesting how it correlates to my life and how it's also similar, being this quote unquote pre-select man. But guys, subscribe to the channel, because again, like Kevin Samuels said, it's like being a quote unquote mythical creature, just having gravitas, being the elephant in the room, just being this big guy, and I deal with, and all this other stuff. Subscribe so I can, 1, get out the hood, but 2, so I can be on my Jesus moment. I don't gotta be out all in the open. People don't gotta, people ain't all in my face and stuff.
I'm going to gather some demographic information about you. Thank you very much. I'm going to gather some demographic information about you because we're going to be challenged. If we sit here and talk on an open Google Hangout and people can't see you they're gonna think we're lying. Uh,
And with that being said, shout out to the growth, shout out to progression, shout out to the black men who are in these spaces, alpha male strategies, the O'Shea Duke Jacksons, Thon Lexis of the world. Yeah, we're gonna continue to network and build. We're gonna network with our brothers, and they'll be able to tell you guys that there's no faking my funk. Once I gain the traction, once I continue to do the work, and I'm definitely, listen, they'll tell you that yep, I am who I say I am from a physical perspective, right? Yeah, it's a transition, but I also have some things in the work where I'm gonna eventually show my face on camera and things like that. But it's milestones and it's levels to this. I'm very strategic in what I do, but there is no faking in my funk in being this 6'5", 250, symmetrical face, perfect teeth, all of this good stuff. Instead of having the fade and the shortcut like our brother does here, I have the fade and the braids. I'm not gonna rock either the Pop Smoke braids, rest in peace Pop Smoke, or the Kawhi Leonard or the Anthony Davis Drake braids. It does not matter. I have the symmetrical face. I can rock it all. So when the proof will be, and the things I have in store for you guys coming forward, and through the networking. We're definitely building this thing, so stay tuned.
But I think it just would help to have a sample set. Some people say, what do you really want? Because I know you're out there. You hit me up all the time, and you tell me about, man, how weird you feel. I'm going to be honest. It's weird to be a black man over 6'2" in this country. How can I say this? We're family. If all the women, if most of the women in black America want men of my ilk, I've always had my choice of 10 plus to 1. Always. It's always been that way. No matter where I am, it's usually 10 to 1.
And I'm in a female-dominated industry. Guys, subscribe so I can get out the hood. It's crazy. Because again, the brother just said it. It's already weird as it is being this kind and caliber guy in America. I try to own it. It's a gift and it's a curse. You have to take the good with the bad. But in a female-dominated industry that I'm in, it can definitely put a strain into it. Because again, they all feel entitled. They all feel like they are the one. And it's only one of me. So, in dealing with so many women per day, different women, it's kind of strange. It's interesting though.
Go to Atlanta, it gets ridiculous in Atlanta. It was 30 plus to 1 because the amount of black people, then the gay black population. So the only thing that really kept the thing that kept me from being such a dog and a hoe and all the other kind of stuff, just running through women, was my father had 13 children. I promised myself I would never become that guy. Now, Laquan, you're 5'11". The 3% mark starts at 6'2". See, 6 foot is one thing, but 6'2" is 3% of the population in the world. But think about it. Ask yourself the question: if you were the part of the population where you could have pretty much any woman, you fit almost any woman's type, what would you do? That's any woman, any black woman, and then also women of other races. Because if they're going to date a black man, they're like, if I'm going to deal with those slings and arrows, I want the cream of the crop or the best of the best. But here's one thing I've noticed. 3% black men almost universally want black women. Boom. Almost universally want black women.
For marriage. Typically for marriage, for vibes, for fun. Any woman, it's vibes. We chilling. We having fun. You know what I mean? It's a vibe. Shapes and sizes, But yes, for marriage, you have to be a damn good woman if you're another race. I mean, you gotta be a damn good woman, period. But I mean, it's levels to it, and you got to be up there to snag me, because it's replication, and other things that we're gonna get into it another day. But yeah, these kind of caliber black men in general of all races tend to want their own in general, and that doesn't change because of physical qualities. Yep, these men typically do want black women for marriage as well. Now, the type of black woman is whether it's a foundational black American, a woman, or an Ethiopian American woman, or whatever. Now that's to be, a Jamaican American. That's a different conversation. But yes, a black woman, absolutely.
So much the fact that we will go beyond. We will deal with the mess, the anger, the attitude, and all this other kind of stuff. And you would think we would have it easier because we're so wanted, right? We're so valuable. We're so sought after. You're over 6'2". You make six figures. You drive a foreign car. You got a college degree.
And that's my thing. Yeah, I don't have the six figures. We at 55, 60 after tax. But again, I am working 50, 60 hour weeks. It's not as bad because again, dealing with women, it can get mentally daunting. But overall, it's a good time. You take the good with the bad. I got stories. But we're working our way up to that six figures. We're working our way up with networking with our brothers who are grinding, our high value men, our men of value. We're working on that as well. We're working on building ourselves. Self-development is the basis of community building. So we have to work on ourselves. So yeah, we're getting there. Shout out to us black men.
Own your own business? But guess what, ladies? Those are the guys you tend to start calling Lawrence. So do you really want it? No. That's why you hear so many black men saying your expectations are unrealistic. Because even when you get that physical body type, if he ain't Tupac with a PhD.
And that's my thing. My vibe, and again, black men, you have to be able to put on multiple images. You have to be the full package. You have to be that good guy and that bad guy. The guy that'll hold the door for her and then grab that thing as she walked through. You have to be able to put on the suit and give the image and the aura of an FBI agent, but then you have to put on street clothes and show your tattoos and give the image of a thug gangster. But then you have to be able to put on a firefighter outfit and give off that perception of whatever occupation you're in, police officer uniform, or construction or pest control or whatever, and really look the part, play the image, and be that. That's very important to be able to master multiple images.
If he's not the dude off Power, that's just what it is. Then you get upset because black men decide to go big tout, MRA, get more, and just say I'm not dating. I've been in a serious relationship for 30 years. And it's not because I don't have choices. I'll get into that in another stream.
Yeah, and I haven't been in a relationship in about 8 months. I'm in my very late 20s, and I was in a relationship throughout my entire 20s. When I was old enough to drink, I was in a relationship. That's when the relationship started, when I was 21. Actually, a month before my 21st birthday, a month or two before my 21st birthday. My entire 20s, I was in a relationship. Now I've been single for the past about 8 months. So now we're grown, we're building, we're trying to evolve. Our God is the best knower, whether we are religious or not, whether we go off of science. Energy is never destroyed, it's merely transferred. So we are building, we are growing, and let's continue to network. Let's continue to understand that steel sharpens steel. Let's continue to understand that self-improvement is the basis of all community development. And let's do this thing. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy life. And let's build this life.
Dating world today is crazy. Crazy. And as someone who has a little bit higher, I have a higher public profile because of YouTube, such and so forth. I am more methodical, more thoughtful about how I date, what I do.
And that's what I'm trying to do as well, understanding that, you know, with the work I do for my day-to-day job and trying to grow this thing on YouTube and understanding the type and kind of caliber of man I am, you know, I have to be very strategic on when I'm going to do things like drop my Instagram, drop my, you know, my face, things like that, you know. But make no mistake, we are going to build on mic etiquette. After that, we will show the face and have the whole setup, the whole 9 yards. It's a nice setup. It's not going to be dusty. It might be a little dusty because I'm going to be fresh on the video camera. I'm going to be new, right? So it might be a little dusty. But again, life is about evolution, baby. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back into it.
And I know there are other men out there like it. Tell you about it, Mr. Samuels. Oh yeah, bro. We're gonna have to set up the house and set up the car. I can't do it from the car. I can't do it from the car. I don't want to do it from the car. I want to do it from the show and have folks call in. Yeah, you're 41 and no kids. You understand? One of my friends here in Oklahoma, he's an entrepreneur just like myself. He's my ace. He's 43 years old. Never married, no kids. Has the same problems. So, to all the women out there who say you want an accomplished, attractive black man with these credentials,
you're going to have to lap up because everybody, mama, sister, auntie, nene, and them want them. So lap up and understand these kind of caliber men, we can only have up to 4 wives. And shout out to the GOAT, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He stated that if you know what's best for you, 1 is sufficient. But I'm pre-select. We're going to high value. We're building a community.
They say there are none out there? Yes, there are. Tons of them. I've known Lawrence's my entire life. But I've yet to find a Lawrence who gets treated the way people say they would treat him if they found him. Let me say that again. You would think that if you're at the top of if you're at the pinnacle of all these things that women say they want, and you got all these women trying to get you, 10 to 1 black women, all these other women, if you finally say, okay, I want to get with you, Kathy, you, Deborah, you, Shanika, you think Kathy, Deborah, Shanika would be like, oh, yes, I got one. Nope. You get in a relationship, they treat you just like Issa did Lawrence.
But why is that? Is that black men? Why is that? Is that because she is not a wife, therefore she cannot act accordingly to be able to sustain that marriage or that relationship? Or is it because you or the man in that relationship fell off of his purpose? This life is mathematical. So because if that man is that pre-select high value man, and he has the ability to have multiple images, and he has the mental fortitude to keep a woman on her heels, to keep the relationship fresh. So if it's not the man, is the woman not a wife? Why did it fall apart? Life is mathematical.
That's the truth. Lawrence success with 50 Cent swag, and exactly, those are 2 different people. Unrealistic. We're gonna have this conversation, folks. Always a power struggle. Yes, sir, master teacher, always a power struggle. And ultimately, I think we know where the ultimate problem comes from. In the black culture in particular, we flipped the paradigm and allowed women to define what manhood is. We've allowed women to say what they want instead of making themselves wives if they want to be wives, and then allowing themselves to be picked. Guys,
understanding that these type of men, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, the pre-select black men of our community, the high value black men of our community, the men of value, we have to understand that life is about evolution. Life is about growth. So you have to strategize in how you're gonna achieve these statuses, whether in your lifetime or via replication. Because I am a firm believer of energy never being destroyed. So when we procreate, yes, I am a believer of our energy being transmuted to the next generation via our DNA, but not to veer off too much. If you want to achieve these type of statuses, high value, a man of value, a high earner, you have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to network. So let's continue having the conversation. Let's continue to build. If you want to be average, that's cool. Again, I'm a little above an average earner, but I'm pre-selecting my physical nature. So I'm chilling. I'm enjoying life right now. I'm building. I'm ambitious. I have the mental intangibles, right? So I'm growing. So I'm gonna be okay. But if you don't want to grow, if you want to continue to be average, the reality is it's a sad world. Being an average man in today's economy, where everything is more expensive, when women practice hypergamy in hyper ways, right? Being an average man, it's get your money up, right? Rest in peace to the Godfather. Most of us can improve from average if we just understand how to change our image and how to improve our image, and having mental tangibles that will enable you to walk and look a certain way, have your posture a certain way, to where you can put on any image and people will look at you like you really fit that image. Because a lot of you average men can really get, if you got a second job or got a higher paying job, stop working at the plant and get you a big boy job. Get you a job that's paying you 50, 60, 70, or go to school for STEM and really level up. Learn multiple languages. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Make sure we take care of our body. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe so I can get out the hood. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. It's Pre-Select Thoughts. Peace.